say the transmission shifts pretty quick. What's going on, my YouTube fam? What's going on? Welcome to another video. As you can see, I'm in a different car. I'm in my 2019 B9 Audi Q5, and so I'm just here to give you guys a little review on it. I know this is something different to the platform. I'm going to continue to show love to my B8 Audi as well as my B8.5 and my B9 Audi. So I'm just trying to reach the masses as far as, you know, some of the perks in Audi and some of the great things. So how does this B9 feel compared to my B8? I would say from a performance perspective, in the B9 versus the 2.0 and the B8, I feel like the B8 has a little bit more torque on I'm not looking at the numbers, I'm just speaking from my personal experience, and this is from a stock perspective. I feel like it has a little bit more torque on the B8 and the B8.5 platforms. However, I feel the B9s has more mid-range power. It pulls just a little bit more. It's not, it doesn't pull to where you're like, wow, it just pulls a little bit more. They do come with, you know, more horsepower. What I've noted is they have a bigger intake and a new intake system, which is probably contributing to them being able to get more air into the engine efficiently. So I would say compared to B8, they're comparable. The B8s and the B8.5s make up, and you know, and even B7s make up for it on the torque, whereas this one makes up for it in the mid-range. But you're going to kind of be looking at some of the same 0 to 60 times, some of the same quarter of the mile time. The one perk, like I said before, I would say is, you know, the overall interior. Of course, you know, on the B9s you have launch control, and there's some people with some B8s and, you know, and that don't have DSG transmissions that do not have the launch control. So the B9s do come with the launch control, which I think is another great, you know, attribute that, you know, I would say over the B8s. However, we know that if you're driving a B8, you can definitely make your own launch controls and left foot on the brakes and right foot on the gas and just let it rip, you know. So overall, from a performance perspective, I would say they're very comparable from the B8 and the B9 platform. You know, like I said in my previous video, I wish I can take the interior from a B9 Audi and put it in my B8, because I still, in the Audi A5 platform, I still like my B8 better. I love the B9, but I just like my B8 better. It's just kind of the both of best worlds. I think the A4 B9 and A3 B9 and Q5 B9 really did a really great job updating their car. I think that the B9, you know, unless you're paying a big chunk of money for the RS version, is more of a conservative, you know, more of a executive look versus super sporty, although it's amazing and a beautiful car. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of do a little road test just to kind of compare the B8 and the B9 from a driving experience, and then I'm gonna kind of talk about some of the updated features and the perks for the Audi B9 in the interior versus the B8. You guys can kind of, you know, visually be able to see, you know, the response or the G-force that I have to kind of get an idea of what this 2.0 turbo can do for the B9 models. So here we go. All right, guys, so now we're going to do a speed test. So this is going to be just to kind of see, compared to the B8, you know, what this little 2.0 can do. Okay. All right, here we go. Man, that thing got a little bit of roll to the engine. I'm not mad at you. Not mad at you at all. A little purr in this 2.0. stock 2.0. Man, I can definitely say the transmission shifts pretty quick, and I mean, if you really put your foot on it, it takes it all the way past 7 RPMs, and I'm really surprised, because generally I know on the B8 and the B8.5 on the stock mode, the RPMs goes to 6 RPMs and you're a little bit over 6 and you're switching. So this one really takes it to the threshold to get the most it can out of the engine, and I'm thinking that's where the extra horsepower comes from. So yeah, I mean, definitely can, from a stock perspective, really tell where Audi kind of upgraded the transmission and just this car in general. So now I'm just going to pretty much tell you about the things that I like about the B9 versus the B8, which is primarily going to be the interior. So I'm going to walk you through the interior and just explain why I like the B9 interior better than the B8. Although, as you guys can see from my build and a lot of builds, we now have the RS Nav, which is comparable to this system that they have in the actual B9 platform. So we do have some upgrades for our B8 vehicles, but Audi definitely took B9 to another level as far as the interior. So I'm just going to kind of walk you through some of the upgrades that they have now in the B9 platform. I really like what they did with the steering wheel. It's kind of almost like the Euro steering wheel in a certain sense. It's smaller. They did a really good job with the stitching. This is a premium plus model, and I don't have the digital display on this one. I have the analog display, but as you can see, as far as simplicity, it's pretty simple and straightforward. You have your shift knob right here. This is going to be the button to where you can put your car in a position to where it can turn off or on when you stop. This is going to be the drive select. As you can see, you press drive select, and it lets you pick dynamic, off-road, comfort, auto. This is just like my B8 as far as the MMI system. It's pretty much what RS Nav and the Android screens were shooting for. So it's very responsive. As you can see, this is going to be more of your vehicle's information. Instead of return, you have back on this one right here. The AC functions are pretty, standard. You just can go right here to pick, which one you want to do. Comes with heated seats. Yeah, I mean, I think they did a really good job on the interior. I would definitely say this is definitely, an upgrade. I just really love the rearview mirror and, the way they have the sunroof set up in the vehicle. So as you can see the back. They did a good job on updating the seats as well. Nice stitching, nice leather, really soft leather. Car is really, really comfortable. I would say the interior is one of the best features that I love that they updated in the B9 platform. The third thing I like is if you're stopped, it has a function where the car cuts off to reserve gas and then it cuts back on. At first it was kind of annoying to me, and it made me feel that the car was shutting off. I'm from old school to where when the car cuts off, that's a warning sign. But however, long term, I've noticed it saved me a lot of gas mileage. I'm not sure the technology that they use, but it's amazing. Comfort and the driving experience overall. The noise cancellation is amazing. This is a B9 Q5. However, my sister has a B9 S5. I know, right? My sister has the S5, and it pretty much shares the same interior as the Q5, and that kind of goes with the older models as well. The engines are the same. The driving experience is traditionally the same. Although, however, she has an S5. I'm just kind of giving a broad explanation of you know, what I think about it. You know, for the people with the B8s and the B8.5s and the B7s, this is pretty much the RS Now. And this is what the RS Now, you know, took the design from for the people who had, you know, earlier models and they wanted to update it. So it's amazing. The infotainment system is really easy to use. It's very responsive. In addition, it has Apple CarPlay, which I think is a great asset if you are doing a lot of things with your vehicle and you're trying to stay safe. It's to each his own. You know, I would say for the Q5, it looks very similar to the previous years, the B8.5 and the B8 Q5, but they did do a little facelift of the actual grille and the lights. So that's definitely a plus, as well as the interior. So yeah, guys, I'm going to keep bringing you guys, you know, different Audi things. This was a request from a few of my subscribers who have B9, so I'm also going to potentially mod this one. So I'll take you through that journey. So if you have a B9 and you're interested in what you can do to your vehicle, you can reference my B8. You can reference my other Audis, because generally, at this point, you can do the same that you can do with a B8 and a B8.5 and a B7 as you can with a B9. The engines are the same. There's a few upgrades from the intake manifold perspective and, you know, different variables like that. But other than that, guys, thank you, man, for watching the video. Check out my tune and performance playlist, and, you know, check out my channel when you get a chance. Peace.